Billy, Sims is, he is peacock preening around our stage right now, shaking hands, kissing babies, saying hello to everyone. And you know what he's doing?
This is
he's
ridiculous.
Being mean to you. That's what he's doing.
It's like he's running for office or something. He's going and he's shaking everybody's hand, talking to everyone.
It's unbelievable.
You don't know half those people you said hello to. You don't know any of these people. That's ridiculous.
That's what nice people do.
No, you're trying to get. No.
Can you put your microphone on? Who's the guy in the green shirt over here?
Michael Golick, as I call him.
You know that name.
You know him. Yeah.
The other guys, like, I know faces, but I don't know their names.
No, you're there saying hi to everyone. I was told, and I don't know if you're gonna confirm or deny this. I was told that you came with a private car and your own security yet again. So we saw you opening night and you had security, and that was, opening night. You had to get in and out of the stadium. I was told you had private security yet again today.
Today?
Yeah. That's what I was told.
I did not. Well, I did not. I don't know what you're talking about.
You got out with a group of people, did you
I
not?
heard.
Well,
from your car.
Well, me and Mike Florio. It was just us two.
I mistook Florio for detail.
Let me just tell you.
Florio was his security is kind of crazy.
Let me just tell you, if Mike Florio is my security, we're in deep.
He had sunglasses on. He had something in his ear. He did. He did.
He's always on the phone, like talking to somebody. He'll be on our show, live show, and he'll be like texting people. And I'll say something, and he'll say what I just said, like he just thought of it.
Yeah.
And I go, Mike, I just said that. Yeah. And, and I go, yeah. Could you pay attention to the show, please, and stop texting your buddy about what Little Caesar's dumpling you're gonna eat later or whatever? Get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to get information for the show.
I don't know what he's trying. He is, but he's trying to get some information for like copy paste, snarky comment later article on PFT.
Wow, jeez, shots fired.
Wait, how are you feeling though? Seriously, you got the Black Plague.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to town and spreading virus here in New Orleans.
Someone's got to do it.
You have every right to say that. Let's go way back though, because Billy he severely sprained his ankle walking.
God.
Your thoughts, Chris?
That's old news. That's
look at Billy,
ago.
and I'm not surprised. Nothing about you says athlete, so nothing.
How dare you?
I know. You just sprained your ankle walking on a flat.
No, I was on a sidewalk, and the truth is, I was carrying my daughter. We were gonna be late to school, so I was like speed walking and stepped off the sidewalk into like a hole, rolled terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I did?
Right.
Because I'm like a big tough guy. I powered through it. I said, if I stop, I'm not gonna be able to get going again.
Yeah.
I need to just keep walking straight through.
Walk it out. Don't let it get stiff and tight.
Exactly right. Plus, I can't be the guy that then falls while holding their child and all the other parents.
Get some awareness. Get some when you talk about I don't know about Trevor Lawrence. You can't see the coverage, but you can't see the big fucking hole that you're about to walk into and sprain your ankle on?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's fair.
He's looking for sympathy, but Billy, he doesn't have a spleen.
Right. Yeah. And sympathy from him? Hey, you don't give me any sympathy. Why would I give it to you?
Right. I thought that we had really turned a corner.
So did I.
I only did a little bit.
You know what I almost did, Chris? And I was telling Stugotz,
and
I didn't do it, but I swear I was going to do it. I was going to bring your jersey and hang it from this screen to be behind you.
He really was.
Did it. Yeah. And then I did it. I'm like, well, he's a big NFL legend. I'll just find a jersey of his somewhere in a store while I'm over here.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Lo and behold, I haven't found a single one.
We went to every one.
Sold out.
So weird.
Sold out.
Sold out. What a pivot.
Sold out. Yep.
He should have been a politician.
Sold the fuck out.
Hey, you know what I'm noticing?
First thing off the rack.
Up close to you?
Right.
You went back to the haircut from a couple years ago. You said that your wife and your mom told you not to get it anymore.
Yeah. Last year, I think at the Super Bowl, they were my sister and my wife were on me like, oh, you have such beautiful hair, grow it out. And literally to the point where I'll be on live TV and my sister will comment, text me and be like, can't you just grow your hair out? And I'm like, I want to be like, can't you just say something nice while I'm on TV right now? Hey, just get over it.
Get a life.
Even today, she texted me. She's like, the shoes she just saw me wearing yesterday. She's like, your feet look huge in those shoes. I'm like, thanks for the compliment all week. Thanks for checking in.
Say something. But do they ever notice the nice things about you? The good things about you? Right?
Sometimes. My mom's good. My mom's good at that. My dad is actually good at that. But they're mom and dad, so they're supposed to be, I guess, to a degree.
Right.
But yeah, the haircut thing, screw that. I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right? And it's so much easier and better on TV. That's where, when you have to get up and be on a show at 7 a.m., it's easy to comb, and it's clean, and it doesn't look too crazy on the screen.
Billy, he blew us off last week because he's such a busy guy, but he called me right after. What do you imagine Chris Sims is like in a parent-teacher conference?
Is that what you're doing?
It was like a little visit to a school.
Uh-oh.
Right. It wasn't like a parent-teacher conference, but it was a visit
like
to a school.
delinquent children or something?
Well, yeah. I mean, they know. I mean, everybody knows about me, and they know though I'm a very smart delinquent. I think I've crossed that line where you can be both, and like people are like, man, it's amazing. He's pulling it off. And so we were checking out a school. My son's getting ready to go to high school.
Wow.
And as you know,
you're old.
In this world now, well, my daughter's going to college.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Did you forget about that?
It's over, friends.
Wait, I have 2 kids in college.
Yeah,
but
you're but you look very much the part of someone that has 2 kids in college.
Right.
He is not.
He looks cool.
Yeah.
and young. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate it.
So how do we like the school? Did we get in? Are we going to kind of
We don't
throw
know
our
if we
weight
got
around?
in yet, and we're not throwing our weight around. That's not how the Sims family
But they
works.
know the Sims family.
Well, they do know the Sims family. Right. They did.
Right.
I will say they kind of like, somewhat reached out a little bit through the grapevine.
Oh, recruiting.
But we'll see.
Right.
We'll see where it goes. Like
This guy running for
between
office?
That was Rossini.
You don't talk to you. Can't even
She's Jersey. I know Rossini. I stick with Jersey always.
You get Florio shit for texting, and here you are just waving, throwing a
I know, but you guys.
Sim, Super Bowl week. Let's focus. Let's go.
On what's going on here.
I know. I don't even know what the I was going to say anymore now. You lost
I don't even know what we asked you.
Yeah, you're talking about your
So
kids.
my kid,
Oh,
yeah.
how was the school?
He'll
They
figure it
recruited your
out.
kid.
He'll
They
figure it
recruited your
out.
kid. That's what we were
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yes.
He'll
Right.
figure it out. He's definitely, Greenwich High School, where we are, they have a good program. There's a few, 2 private schools that are involved in it too. So we'll see where that goes.
Billy, imagine being that famous with that last name, and schools are calling you.
Yeah.
Can we have your kid?
Well, a lot of them too. It's not that great too. Sometimes they call you and I go, well, they just want our name and more donations and everything else. That's what they want, right?
Yes. Let me clear up any confusion. That's all
I
they
feel like
want.
I was in one private school for a little while. Once they realized like they weren't just going to get a free flowing like open bank account from the Sims family, they were kind of like, yeah, you guys can hang around here if you want, but we don't really care about you at the school anymore.
Nice.
It's Greenwich, man. They're used to just money falling out of people's pockets.
It's a different world.
Oh, they dropped $1 million right here. We'll put that in the school fund.
I think, Billy, it's the richest town. Is it not?
It
in America?
really, I think, some metrics or whatever, but Greenwich is.
It's up there.
We've talked about the people
he has,
on our
he
street.
has a small house and he doesn't
All
have
your
a
big
gate.
hedge your big hedge funder, a lot of them were there, and houses are sold in town for 185, 190 million.
Wow.
It's like Star Island in Miami. It's that kind of stuff. It's that same kind of group of people.
Yes.
It's the top of the top, right? And I'm the smallest fish in that.
Those
pond.
are the gated houses, right?
Well, no, you find out people in that town. You're like, wow, they live there? That's an incredible house.
Right.
They haven't been there in 14 months. They've been in their other 7 houses.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, I found out the other day, Princess Diana, she was married to Dodi Fayed, right?
Yeah.
I'm going by a house close to the water. Man, that's an incredible house. Oh, that's the Fayed's house. Well, they haven't been here in 2 years, but it's theirs. Like, that's what we're talking about.
How often are you at your house?
I'm every day at my house.
Yeah.
I know.
How embarrassing.
Exactly. It is in my town.
Gosh.
It is in my town.
Oh, the Sims are
Everyone knows about the Sims. They never leave.
I have a great feel. I actually had this conversation the other day because, I'm at this point in my life where I have some friends that can't hang with me, right? They can't spend money or want to quite live as lavishly as me, right?
Right.
But then I have another group of friends where I can't hang with them. And they're always inviting me to places and, come to this house. And I'm like, guys, I got to work. I know Wall Street, you make a call and you make $1 million, but I got to work actually. I don't know what the hell you guys do for a living.
Right.
And I can't afford for the 5th weekend in a row.
Understood.
To just go and spend money and have fun. And it's amazing.
You draw the line at 4 weekends in a row.
4, maybe 3.
The feds will be at their door at any moment, Chris.
Holy
You're
crap.
fine. Yeah.
Who's that?
The feds will be at their door figuring out exactly what they're up to. And you'll be fine. Stay away from those friends.
Wait, but how about the group of friends that can't hang with you? Perhaps, you've been very successful in life. You have some money. How about you take care of them?
I
you
try.
pay for the trip.
I try. I do.
And they don't want it.
Well,
Pride.
I try.
Yes.
Well, then also, too, how many things can you pay for, right? I mean, it's it comes to a point where it's like, damn, last weekend we went to dinner, I had to pay for it. This weekend we went to dinner, I had to pay for it. We went here to a game and stayed in a hotel. I had to pay for it.
They start
right?
to expect it. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, again, you just can't drain your bank account all the time.
Yeah.
Check him out, PFT with Florio every day on Peacock, the Unbuttoned podcast as well, Football Night in America. If I could just go back to the championship game for a second, because we haven't spoken to you.
Right.
Because Billy's been sick and he hurt his ankle and you were being recruited by schools.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't your fault.
He was bullying principals to let his kids into school.
Did you feel bad for Josh Allen after that loss?
Yes.
You did.
I did. I felt bad for Josh Allen when just late in the game overall, I could just see the, what do you want to say, the nervousness, the angst of like, gosh, here we are. I mean, we're down.
Yeah.
Here he
He's
goes.
going to do it again.
He's driving down the field.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's where I felt bad for him. Because, of course, he's such a phenomenal player. He does everything. He carries the team. He played good that day. He probably didn't play his best. And he would say that too, I think. But, yeah, it's a tough one. Because as we've talked about so many times, like Lamar, Joe Burrow, they're Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Yes.
They are.
Right.
They just, it's tough, and we know it's hard. And, of course, they're going against a team that is as special as we've ever seen. And I really feel for them.
The Eagles, I feel like the Eagles have the better team here, top to bottom.
Yes.
But they have the Chiefs obviously have a legendary guy at the most important position in the sport. And so I don't know what to do with this game. I got to be honest. The first game was so good, but the Eagles do have the ability to keep Mahomes off the field with Saquon Barkley.
Definitely.
Yes.
The Eagles are better than the last Super Bowl. The Eagles are better. I think the Chiefs are slightly less.
Okay.
I do think that. What you talked about is right. I mean, if it gets down to the very end of the game and it's a one-score thing, it's like, well, I'm not betting money against Mahomes. I get that.
Yep.
But are the Eagles good enough to not let it get to that? Are the Eagles good enough to kind of bucks the Chiefs in the Super Bowl and make it to where, no, it's more than a one-score game late in the game. You can't win today. Sorry. Like, there is definitely a part of me that sits here and thinks, can the Eagles win by 10? Or do that? I wouldn't be shocked. The Eagles, as you guys have heard me say for the last 10 weeks, it's not close. They're the best team in football. They're one of the best teams we've seen in the last 20 years of football. But it's a team that also is pretty special. They might be here. The Chiefs might be just a little bit, and that's where Andy, Mahomes, and Spags kind of even it out. And my theme of the game all week, Stugotz, is brains versus brawn.
Right.
It's the Eagles that are just like, fuck you, we're big, this is what we do, you can't stop it. And the Chiefs are like, we're going to break out of the huddle and do a dance move and spin around and shift and go over here. And on defense, Spagnola's going to have all these crazy blitzes and the Eagles are just going to be like, no, we're right here, and we're ready to play. Like, what are you doing? Like, we're just coming at you that way. So that's where, and I'm not trying to disrespect the brawn of the Chiefs or the brains of the Eagles, because it's not that far off in that department, but that is kind of how I look at the matchup.
It does seem like the Chiefs are always going to get got, and then they just never do get got.
I've never seen anything like it.
Thing.
Never.
They have the guy.
Never. Yeah. I've never seen, I said this last year, because when they got into the playoffs, I was like, the Chiefs aren't going to the Super Bowl last year. I was like, it's not happening. I've never seen a team, and I know we talked about it last year, that played B- football, and they just went, it's the playoffs. We're going to play A+ football now and go to the Super Bowl. Like, that doesn't happen, right? And to your point here, this doesn't really happen. Like, we just keep finding a way. It kind of looked like the other team was better, but we won today. Though they kind of outplayed us, but we won the moments. And to just do that all the way to the Super Bowl, I call myself an historian. I don't remember too many teams with that type of formula getting to the Super Bowl, or of course winning the Super Bowl.
Well, it might be a dumb question. So, like, if you're the Eagles and you have that lead, and then it starts slipping away, and you see the Chiefs start doing what they're doing, does that ever get into your mind?
100.
Like, oh my gosh.
100. It's going to get in their mind here. There's two parts of the game.
Josh's mind.
Yes. It's A.J. Brown actually referenced it after the first game. He said because they had dominated, remember, the Eagles really the whole year going into the Super Bowl. Nobody really challenged them the last 10 weeks of the year. Mm-hmm. And that was the first close game they were in. And I think A.J. Brown, after the Kadarius Toney punt return down there about the 5-yard line, right, he said he was like, uh-oh, this game's going to be close, and they're good in close games. It is definitely going to be in their head. Can they overcome that? There's two parts of the game. The start of the game is going to be big. because the Eagles are going to have to worry about managing emotions a little bit. The Chiefs are going to come out. I'm going to just say this. I think they're going to come out. We've been here. We're relaxed and just doom, 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 doom. And I feel like they're going to try to jump on the Eagles.
Just another Sunday.
Just another Sunday. Right. And the Eagles are going to be like, we're nervous. It's the Super Bowl. What the hell's going on? And I think that's a big moment just to not let the game get away from Philadelphia right there. And then, like you said, if you just got to try to avoid that moment where Mahomes has the ball and they're down a score or the game's tied, because that will get in their head and they're going to go, uh-oh, here comes the inevitable force. It's the clutchest quarterback in the history of the game, and here he comes. I can't even believe I'm saying that right. After Brady to say him is crazy.
I remember Jimmy Johnson telling me and Le Batard that the winning is in the margins. It's in the details.
Exactly.
Attention to details.
Right.
And I still can't figure out why teams are driving down at the end of the game knowing and leaving Mahomes time at the end of the game, because Mahomes doesn't do it that way.
No.
If he's got 5 minutes left on the clock, he's taking all 5 minutes. You're not getting the ball back.
It's you can control the game, but they win the moments.
Yes.
That is where they are incredible. Situational football. We had so many of those years with the Patriots too, where we were like, kind of feels like they're getting outplayed, but in every big moment they kind of pull through, and now they're winning by 3 or 7. How is that possible? Yeah, that to me it is not only a culture, it's put into you. The coach is constantly talking about it, but there is nuance in like how to win these games. You start to, understand whatever it is. Oh, I can't take a sack here. I got to throw it away. The little things that we've talked about, and it is the little deal. Like, go back to the AFC Championship game. Spags holds a blitz in his pocket that he hasn't done the whole game.
Yeah.
With the second best cover corner in football. And you're a quarterback and you're going, wait, they haven't brought a corner blitz the whole game. They're not going to blitz the best corner they got on a passing situation.
Not now.
Yes. To bring that in that situation, that's, again, where I get to the Spags, the Chiefs' brains, and their situational awareness. And they're like, oh, I'm going to hold this back for a big moment late to screw them over. That's where they have a special touch.
Demario Davis told us yesterday that he was shocked. He goes, I've been playing this game my entire life. He goes, I'm telling you, it's one of the great defensive calls of all time, and I was shocked when I actually saw it play out, and so was Josh Allen.
Exactly. That's where when I heard people starting to go, Josh Allen could have fixed the protection, I was like, absolutely no quarterback in the history of football would have figured out that blitz. Peyton Manning, Bart Starr. So the people that were trying to say that on TV and stuff, I was like, you're just a hater and you can't even watch the game. Like, stop. Just don't even talk anymore. Like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody sees that blitz. That was incredible. But that's where the Spags magic is.
Yes.
Spags, to me, in the last Super Bowl against the Eagles, he won that Super Bowl with similar type of stuff. And I think if they want to win, because I'm just telling you, I'm leaning Eagles.
I could tell.
Yes.
I mean, you said by 10 before.
He's going to have to take those chances. Yeah, no, I mean.
You're wondering if they can win by 10.
I'm wondering, exactly right. Like,
I think if the Chiefs win, they win close. Eagles win, it potentially could be like a 14-17.
It's got to be like 38-28. It's got to be something like that. That's kind of how I feel.
Yes.
Right.
He's the best coordinator of all time, right, Spags? I love
It's
Spags.
up there. I mean, it's definitely up there. I mean, I mean, there's some others that I think if we sat here for a few minutes and I hummed and hawed, I could come up with, but he's on the short list. And as far as big game D coordinators, to do things that are outside the box or that are just like things you wouldn't think of, or the guts, the absolute kahunas he has to call some of these are incredible. Incredible.
It's been cool to see, I think, with the Chiefs over the past 5 years. It's not even just this if they three-peat, but over the 5 years. They used to be a team that relied on the big plays, on the flashy plays, and now, because they don't have the pieces, they've kind of changed the way that they're playing, and they're still just as dominant.
So that's where I go into Mahomes is the greatest I've definitely ever seen through the first 7 years. Because the whole thing started with, your first year in, just carry us. Go ahead. We need 350 and 3 touchdowns every game. And he was like, oh, no problem. Zoom, boom, boom, touchdown, boom. He was awesome, right? So they were but then I think they looked at it like we're not going to be able to sustain this high flying and have Tyreek Hill and just the best receiver in football. I also think they looked at it and went, our quarterback's pretty good. I think he can cover a few holes in the offensive side of the ball. Let's start putting some more resources on the rest of the football team so we can maintain this. And it's not always just about we got to win a shootout with Patrick in the passing game, right? Because that's kind of what they were early on, right? That's how they lost to Brady in the AFC Championship. It was a little bit like they can't run. Right. It's all Mahomes having to throw and make magic every play. But that's, to me, what's cool about them, because it's here in the same dynasty, right? In the same 6-year span, it's like the first part was the greatest show on turf, and now it's like we're going to play defense, situational football, be good on third down, not make a lot of negative plays. And that, to me, is also where Mahomes is amazing because he's become surgical that way. And that's where they're refreshing, the fact that it's a different style. And I like, too, Billy, that off of New England, which was, very much like we're detailed, we're organized, we're on to Cincinnati. I'm going to uncover a rock and get a player in Germany, and I'm going to find a white slot receiver that I've never seen before, and I'm going to do this defense that you've never seen before, and like all this crap, right? The Chiefs are kind of just like, let's go out and have fun. Look at this play. Look at that play. Hey, paparazzi, come on in. Taylor Swift, who else? You want to come on in? I think that's so cool because that doesn't go on in the NFL.
Yeah.
Most times, like coaches, we talk about this before, they're literally like, now don't say anything the other team won't like. Let's not have any distractions. Let's not bring that whole crew into the stadium, And you go to their practices, I tell people all the time, it's one of the funnest things you'll see in football. It's so unique in that they work so hard, but they smile and have personality and laugh doing it, and that's rare.
We'll get you out of here in a second.
Yeah, you're all
Listen,
good.
we have all these guests on this week. This is still the best part of our week.
Me love you long time, too.
I mean, we love him, Billy. We love him. It's a love-hate relationship, man. But I do have one final question.
Okay.
If Nick Sirianni wins this Super Bowl, is he the greatest Eagles coach of all time?
Oh, jeez. Well, it's not a real long list, so
it's him and Andy Reid.
It really is.
Yes.
I do think Nick Sirianni gets a little bit of a bad rap.
I mean, this is his second Super Bowl in 4 years.
It is. Listen, I know he doesn't win every press conference, but there's things about this Eagles team, and every great team takes the personality of their coach to a degree. And some of the things that I admire about the Eagles are Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
The thing I was just telling you about. Hey, this is what we do. F you, we're going to do it, right? That's Nick Sirianni.
That is, right?
He's literally like, hey, f you, Eagles fans. Chiefs fans, I'm out of here, right? So that's where I think he's amazing that way. I love that attitude.
It's great.
I do.
How do you behave yourself on NBC?
I barely do. I'm breaking barriers down there.
Yeah.
I'm breaking barriers.
Wow.
No, but he's
You're a
right.
real trailblazer.
But can you imagine Sirianni doing that? Hey, f you, Philly fans. This is what we do, right?
That's who they are.
He's already done it.
He's just like, oh, you think you're going to stop us? No, they're not going to stop us. What are you talking about? So their physicality, their in-your-face attitude, I do think is a lot him, and I give him respect for that. As far as NBC, sometimes they got to put a disclaimer on the end of the bottom of the show and say bad language is coming your way soon. No joke. Like literally, we are live on Sky Network, Sky Sports in London, and they put on the whole show. Bad language, sorry for your inconvenience, but be prepared. Right.
He does let it fly. And watch
I know. They'll look at me or Florio will be like, man, I mean, that's like the second time you said the F word. And then like 2 minutes later, he'll say the F word 7 times in a sentence and not even bat an eye or say anything about it. But he'd be like, man, you're really throwing around the F word a lot. And I'm like, what? You don't even bat
he was
an eye.
texting.
He misses both. Right. He's texting his lunch order.
Right.
What do we do with Jalen Hurts if he wins the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, damn.
That's 2 in 4 years. That would be beating Patrick Mahomes and coming close to beating Patrick Mahomes the time before.
Yeah, no, listen, Jalen Hurts is definitely one of the top quarterbacks in football. Now, you know me, it's not going to be top 5, but I have no issue, no bones about it. He's top 10.
All right.
Mental toughness is as good as it gets. Work ethic, right? Having the right demeanor on the football field, special. Good decision maker. It's the best thing he's doing right now.
Yep.
Right? His ability to move, tough as hell.
He bought into handing the ball off.
He definitely did.
He took the ball out of his hands.
He did do that. He also didn't play good they weren't like, hey, we want to throw for 109 yards and squeak out this game. See, this is where I don't like the excuses for Jalen Hurts at times. Because this is what I get from Philly people.
Okay.
Well, they wanted to play a nail biter against Carolina. And they wanted to, hey, throw for 105 and let's play a close game today. Yeah. Right? Hey, we don't want to look good in the Packers-Rams game. Don't play that good. Like, what? Come on, everybody shut the f up with that crap. He didn't play good, period.
Yes.
He did have some injuries, and I do think because they ran the ball so much and they're simple on offense. To me, if he plays like he did on the championship Sunday, they're going to be hard to beat this weekend.
Yes.
That's period.
Yep.
And he is listen, a damn good quarterback. I don't know if you're looking at me to say all-time great, but I think people start to throw him into those kind of conversations once you win a Super Bowl.
He's got a ring.
And you've been to 2
in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly right.
PFT with Mike Florio. Check it out there on Peacock, the Unbuttoned podcast as well. We appreciate it, man. We love you.
It. Yeah, I'll see you later in the week, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, Billy, we're doing this again on Friday. Yeah.
Good.
Friday.
You can talk JFK then.
You're right. We didn't get to JFK.
Yes.
We didn't get to JFK. You dropped the ball.
No, we're saving it for Friday, dude. We got time. Okay.
Pacing ourselves. Obviously, the closer we get to the game, the more JFK we're going to talk.
Great. Yeah, that makes sense for us.
Yeah. Right. They open up the files.
Don't get sick or something, and then you can't make it Friday. I have the sniffles. Watch out for the potholes in the French Quarter.
Wait, Sim says it's live show tonight. You're doing a live show,
aren't you? Pat O'Brien.
Ooh, how about that? Oh, we were there last night.
Picks podcast. Don't tell Florio I'm going to pick the Eagles. All right? I have to keep it quiet. I'm the game behind him. I can tie him.
Okay.
And I feel like he's kind of the sandbagging son of a that would be like, well, he's going to pick that, so I'll just pick that so I can't lose.
You got to let him pick first then.
Well, I know.
I know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. So I got to figure that out.
He might take the Eagles?
Let him go first.
I don't think he will.
Okay.
I think he's going to go Mahomes and the Chiefs. I don't think he can get over that magic.
All right. Have fun with the show tonight, and we'll talk to you on Friday about JFK.
Peace out. Peace out.
Walking around here, no sponsors, just being Gerald McCoy.
Spread love and joy. That's all I want to do. I'm sorry that I couldn't get y'all's day started with a lot of spark this morning, but midday, what y'all need, I'm like a Celsius or a 5-hour energy. You need that shot to get you going. I'm like the NOS button in Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. We do feel you. Yeah. I just want you to keep going. Go.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm here, baby.
It's a little afternoon pick-me-up because you're right. It's good to start the day with
You're like a shot of coffee. Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you, I work on network TV now. We got an 8-hour show on Sunday.
Right.
And 4 hours in, I know oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, we have those 6-hour days where we have the London games, and you need that.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to do.
You need you. Yes.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Do you give them like a speech halfway through? Like, let's go. Not today. Tell your body, not today. Let's go.
Big claps from a big body. Let's get it.
All right.
I love that Batman necklace, man.
Oh, thanks, man. You know, I'm a nerd. I'm an open nerd.
Really?
Yeah.
Give us ways. I think people would have a hard time believing that you're a nerd.
No, I am, man.
You're a nerd at heart?
I am a true nerd. Yeah, no,
Okay,
it's not a game to me.
It's
not a game to me. Yeah, it's not a game to me. I do this. I have a 6'5" Batman in my man cave in Tampa.
Do you really?
My whole man cave is comic books and I don't mess around.
What's the limit for your nerddom? Like there has to be a
Okay, so there is limits to my nerdom.
I want to stay right here, by the way, the entire time. You being a nerd. This is great.
There's limits to my nerdom. So I have to spread it. Mm-hmm. Can't just be full nerd to where I can indulge because I have to take the studying of my nerdom. The studying portion of my nerdom has to go to my career, which is football and being an analyst and stuff. However, everybody has interests and hobbies.
Yeah.
And that's mine, man.
Okay.
I love it.
But do you have a line? Like, is there anything you won't buy? Because we saw Batmobiles were on sale this year.
Right? I actually was bidding on a Tim Burton 1989 Batmobile. I put it on hold, and somebody came and stole it from me. But I was one of those people buying a Batmobile.
Wait, how does that work, though? If you put it on hold, how can someone steal it?
Yeah.
Because what they did is they said, we're going to put you at the top of the list.
Right.
Because nobody was bidding on it.
Okay.
And they said, we're going to, if you fly out to Arizona, we'll walk you through. You can, walk through. Yeah. We'll even let you test drive and all that. It was mid-season. I didn't have time to just up and go to Arizona.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Season starts to end, and I hit the guy up. I'm like, hey, here we go. It's about that time. He's like, oh, we sold it, Gerald. I'm like, well, dang, you could have texted me like, hey, you got
give me a heads up.
You got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything.
Right.
Yeah, you could have come on a bye week or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I was bidding on it, and it wasn't as expensive if you think, man. What they usually do is they take a Corvette body,
Right.
And they just build around it. And, it's street legal. They make it street legal.
Yeah.
And you got to check the laws of where you at in Texas. It is legal to drive a Batmobile.
So hold on a second. Now you have to wait till another Batmobile becomes available because the ones from The Dark Knight were crazy, like $3 million or something like that. That's
you can have that.
And
we got toys. Everybody has toys.
You can have that.
There's levels to everything.
Okay.
There's levels to toys too.
The street legal is also an important part of this because like
if
those
you buy a $3 million car that you can't
drive it
anywhere.
When you have like a ranch with like 40 acres, you can't drive that anywhere.
I will say something that was cool though in L.A. Kith, clothing brand Kith, Kith.
Okay.
They had a Batman collab.
Right.
Where they had Batman Forever, the car from Batman Forever, Tim Burton's Batman, and they had the Tumbler, that one that's on sale. They had models of them all out, which was pretty cool, man. I got a chance to go see that. They had every Batman suit from every movie.
Really?
Yeah, they had them encased in the originals. It was pretty cool.
Where'd your love of Batman come from?
I grew up, I don't know, man. I grew
original?
up loving Batman. Yeah, I grew up loving Batman.
Right.
And as a kid, the first Batman tapes.
Yes.
Tapes. Hey, new generation.
Are we talking Batman? The ones where they're the sharks, that it was on the helicopter?
See, he's talking Adam West, I think.
Watch this. See this?
Okay.
This is how I know.
Right.
My nerdism.
Yes.
It's legit.
Okay.
Children. These things called VHSs.
Yes.
These tapes used to put in this thing called a VCR.
Yeah.
And before.
What are you saying? Yup, you never had a VCR. He's speaking to you.
Before you can, basically be in the movie, they had these black and white films.
Yes.
The very first Batman tapes I had were black and white films.
Wow.
They came out in like the 50s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was Batman. Him and Robin used to get dressed in like the back of this mob car, and then they'd pop out and fight. They didn't have nothing.
They upgraded to a cave, and a mansion, yes.
Then they upgraded. Then we got Adam West, and then we went from there. So my love for Batman, and people was like, well, why so much? I relate to Batman because if you go look at my combine numbers, they're not. We got the NFL produces mutants. There's Myles Garrett and Aaron Donalds walking around, and Xavier Worthy, he's the Flash, and all this other stuff. My numbers were not great, but I was drafted 3rd overall, and it was because of my preparation, outworking everybody, and my knowledge of the game. And that's who Batman is.
Yes.
He's around all these superpower people.
Right.
But he has no power.
Yeah, he's kind of a rich guy that he has a lot of cool tools.
Yeah, but he's also the captain of a team of superpower beings.
Right.
Yeah.
Billy, are you saying
he doesn't have a superpower?
Billy, be very careful. Okay, I just want to be clear. Are you saying Batman is overrated?
No, I didn't say that. I'm not being uncareful.
You know how many times I've heard that?
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Let me ask you something. When we're talking about VCRs, is there something that you? I think everybody had this experience with VCR, where you have something that you had recorded on a VCR, and then it got taped over.
Yeah,
by something accidentally.
Yes, I had it.
Well, I didn't have anything taped over for me. I did the taping over.
Oh no!
My mom was a big soap opera fan. Days of Our Lives.
Oh my God! Of course, man.
So one day I want to.
Wait, so she taped it every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
She made us tape it.
Had set the timer, the whole deal. Right?
Timers on VCR is very tricky.
Yes. So one day I want to act, and I told my acting coach and my agent, if you don't get me in nothing else. My mom passed away when I was 19. I don't care if I'm sitting at a table. I don't care if I'm the janitor, anything. If you get me on Days of Our Lives, that will be my acting dream. It was my mom's favorite show.
Oh, my gosh.
And freaking incredible. And I remember one time I taped over her, and she was a key part in the story. And then next thing you know, Batman the animated series pops up, and she's like, wait, hold on.
How disappointing.
I know.
Tell her that storyline is still going on today.
I know.
Days of Our Lives.
That's crazy, man.
Oh, I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's insane, man. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Thank you for putting me in
I
a bad
don't know
spot
if
right there.
I don't know if you saw Stephen A.
You
was
saw what he
walking
did there,
around.
Gerald?
Stephen A. was walking around.
Yeah,
so he was over here.
He
and
came in, and then Cam just walked past.
Well, he was in a soap opera. I think it was in General Hospital.
He is. He's still in it. Yes.
He's a recurring character. They'll use him like once every year.
Stephen A. is?
Yeah.
He plays Stephen A.?
No, he plays, I believe, a detective.
Oh, wow.
And I think he has like a name. I think it's like Brick or something like that.
I want to play like the young, like secret boyfriend.
Yeah.
Really?
This random.
Young, we got to get on
this random 65-year-old white lady is like sleeping with this 36-year-old black dude with dreads. Like, where'd that come from? It don't matter. It's a soap opera.
I feel like they haven't covered that storyline yet.
No.
I'm just saying, we come up with all these storylines. That'll be a new one for a soap opera.
Who do you consider to be the best Batman of all time?
Michael Keaton, without question. There's no argument for me.
Michael
Keaton.
I
will not accept an argument.
Really?
Yeah. Michael Keaton.
Jack Nicholson as the Penguin. Did that do it for you?
Joker.
Yeah.
Oh, the Joker. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a Batman dork. He is. That's why.
DeVito was the Penguin.
That's right.
Yeah. Penguin was good, though. But Colin Farrell, man, he just killed it as the Penguin. That's why he got all those Emmys and all those awards. So,
right.
Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson is the Joker. Him and Heath Ledger,
But too much Joker stuff, right? Like, we get it. There's too many different.
There's never too much Joker stuff. There's different iterations, man.
So
you like things you gotta have.
You like all the different iterations. Like you like the
Penguin.
The Penguin show. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's for me, but it's winning all of these awards.
Just because it's not about. You don't know that Batman is involved until literally the very last second of the show, and then the show goes off.
Right.
They don't bring up Batman, Bruce Wayne, no other villain, nothing. It's like a mob show. It's like a really good mob show. It's like Sopranos.
Right.
Okay.
Seriously, it's just like a good mob show. But if you know who the character is, then you'll say, oh, yeah, this is the Penguin.
Yeah.
But it's not. They don't even call. They make fun of him saying Penguin, but they call him Oswald the whole show.
So it's just a background for him.
It's just a great, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a
Gerald,
great show.
is there anything else you dork out to the way you dork out to Batman? Nerd out, I should say.
Nerd out?
Yeah.
I don't know, like nerd out to anything else. Like I'm a gamer, but in moderation. I love combat sports. But other than that, nah, man, it's just collective. Whatever goes into being a nerd. Video games, Ninja Turtles, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that, but not really nerd out to anything else.
How has the transition been? Do you enjoy the broadcasting?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. It keeps you around the game.
Right.
And the same way I used to prepare for football games, I have to do for network TV. And I went to a broadcast boot camp, and they told us if you don't do the work, they'll know. So being 2 years in, the best compliment I can get is people saying, we see your growth, which is proof that I'm doing the work. And I just want to keep growing in the business. And what happens is, which I want to talk about, is athletes, we are under such structure. Wake up this time, meetings this time, practice this time, lunch is cooked for you, breakfast is cooked for you. Depending on how late you are, you might can take a plate to go home.
Right.
Then you're traveling, and all this stuff is done for you, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
That's tough on the mind.
Of course.
People are not praising you anymore. You're not put on this pedestal and all that, and guys struggle with what to do to fill that time or that void. I was blessed enough to be ushered right into my next career, so I didn't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of athletes struggle with that. I was just blessed enough to not have to.
That's awesome, man. What is a broadcast boot camp like? What is that?
They teach you the ins and outs of what to expect. So they literally taught us, they gave us introduction, gave us examples. Hey, this is what we do here. You could be on the radio. You can do podcasting. You can be an in-studio analyst. You can call games, all these different things.
Right.
You go through these classes, and then they put you through a simulation of every facet of media, whatever it is. And they record it, and then right after they record it, you sit down, and they tell you what you did right, what you did wrong.
Right.
And then from there, people recruit you. My class was me, Richard Sherman, Cam Hayward.
Wow.
Both the McCourties.
Man, that's a hell of a class.
Yeah, we had a great class.
Right.
Man.
And you're saying, like, if they tell you, hey, if you're not putting the prep in, we're going to notice, right?
We will know.
Because I've been doing it for 20 years and no one has noticed. I gotta be honest. Well, they notice. I just don't care that they notice.
Right. Yeah.
All right. We appreciate you, man.
All right,
You're a good
thanks,
man.
brother.
All
I
right, man.
appreciate
Enjoy
it.
the rest of your week,
Thanks,
man.
man.
All right.
Appreciate
you
you having me. Thank you.
Dicker is here. He's promoting himself.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that, man. Promote yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working with the Friendship Foundation this year, which has been super fun. It's been a foundation out in Manhattan Beach area, and it's just a foundation that helps kids with special needs, and it's been just a fun group to go out and work with.
I'm told you're also promoting your merch.
A little bit. I'm trying to come out with some cool stuff soon, so we'll see what happens.
Stugotz, he doesn't want to immediately go into promoting
We'll
merch.
see
He's talking
what
about all the
happens,
good work
huh?
that he's done. Walter Payton Man of the Year.
We'll get to the Walter Payton Man. I want to get his
you're like,
message.
let's sell T-shirts.
I want to make him some money. That's
Listen,
all I'm trying to do.
The Dicker the Kicker stuff,
Yes.
great name.
Yes.
Could be some fun stuff.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
We're getting some fun stuff out there for sure.
Right.
And, it'll all come by next season.
I was going to ask, do you like Dicker the Kicker?
I love it. It's
Okay,
super fun. It's been around since
He
7th
seems
grade
to embrace
for me,
it.
so,
Has it really?
Yeah, it's been forever, so I'm so used to it now.
Who gave you the name?
My science teacher in 7th grade, Mr.
Really?
G. Yep.
Mr. G, now be careful, because if Mr. G's still with us and you start selling things that say
Right.
Dicker the Kicker, Mr. G may come after you.
You copyright this thing? What happened? Right.
I've copyrighted it. Mr. G
Yes.
knows what's going on.
Okay.
I see him.
Well, be careful.
Yeah, I see him
because
around all the time
Mr. G
still.
may be coming after you soon.
I
once you
know.
start-
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. G is still a friend.
Yep.
Okay, he deserves most of the credit. Mr.
Yeah,
G,
he's
right?
awesome. Then Gus Johnson really brought it to the global,
Right.
Yeah, but
to
it's
the
Mr.
big
G.
name. But Mr. G was right there.
Is
He got
Mr.
it
G
done.
still teaching?
He is still teaching. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So he's
All right.
he's a beast science teacher. Super fun.
What type
Right.
of science?
I don't know, 6th and 7th grade science.
Okay, good.
And 8th grade science.
I don't
Whatever
know
that
why I'm
was.
asking so much about Mr. G.
Yeah.
Because we
Awesome
love
guy.
Mr. G.
Mr.
You
G's
and I
dope
really
now.
what we
He's
want to
like a
do
cool
now is
guy.
get Mr.
Yeah.
G
I
on the
kind
show.
of want to
yes.
talk to Mr. G and see what he's up to.
That's what we need.
Do you mind if we get Mr. G on at some point just to ask him questions about
We need
a
to
young
figure it
Cameron
out.
Dicker?
We need to figure it out.
Okay, great.
Are you having fun this week in New Orleans?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Got here yesterday.
Nice.
And so have honors tonight, and that'll be a blast.
Right. So Greg Cody, a Miami Herald columnist, he said to us last week that winning Super Bowl MVP would mean more than the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. It's blasphemous, okay? Do you agree with him?
I do not agree.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, Super Bowl MVP would be nice.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice, but
Right.
I think the Walter Payton Man of the Year award kind of stick out a little bit more
Yes.
in life.
Yes. In terms of your personality and more
Personality, kind
meaningful.
of.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely more meaningful.
Right.
Contributes kind of who you are and also what you've done. So I think that means a little more.
Are you surprised that you have arrived where you've arrived? Like, is this is like dream come true type stuff, right?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I never thought about playing football.
I know.
Even in college, didn't
Right.
even think about playing football professionally. It all just kind of doors have just kind of kept opening, and I just keep saying yes.
Right. The most nervous you've ever been. Do you get nervous before kicks?
Not really, no. I mean, I get
You
more.
never get nervous?
I wouldn't really say so. Like, not that I remember. I mean, like even college, that was probably like one of the bigger kicks was college freshman year against Oklahoma.
Right.
And I mean, there's the video, the meme of me on the sideline, like giving a heads up and a wink to somebody. And that was like right before the kick, so I'd say I'm pretty relaxed during it.
I don't understand this level of relax and level of cool, to be
Yeah,
perfectly
it's
honest
weird.
with you.
I'd be a nervous wreck if I walked out
Yeah,
there.
of course.
You're by
80,000
yourself.
people are there.
Yeah, you only win if it goes through. I mean, teammates don't like you if it doesn't.
Yeah, it's just what I do every day. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same
way of
thing.
life.
Like you guys doing this, you don't get nervous doing this, and so it's like, okay, it's kind of the same idea.
Are you more of a home or road kicker? Like, do you like to kick the one that
That's
shuts
a
the
great
crowd
question.
up, or the one that gets the crowd going?
A road kick is pretty electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ending the game on the road, right?
Yeah, or like it's coming down. You need this to tie the game and stuff, and the stadium's going crazy, and then they see it going through, and it's just like
quiet immediately.
And you're like, yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet feeling.
Too easy at home, I think.
At home, it's kind of like
more challenging, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
at home, it's just kind of like, okay, like, yeah, it's fun. Like,
Yes.
It's cool to do.
Yep. So when did you realize you were going to get, or had a chance at least, to get to the NFL? Because it's
Honestly-
interesting. You never set out to get there, and here you are, right?
Yeah, honestly,
Crazy.
people joked about it in high school all the time, but I never really thought about it seriously. And then just having the opportunity through college and doing pretty well throughout college, I was like, oh, okay, this might happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Harbaugh, a crazy person?
Harbaugh's awesome. He's like, I explain him best as your friend's
Yes.
weird dad.
Right.
I
He's
like that.
So loving.
That's so
and,
good.
But it like fits him so well. Like the way he is with the media is the way he is with all of us.
Yes.
Like, you're just like, dude, what are we talking about right now?
Okay.
But we love it. Like it brings teams together, and that's the reason like he has such tight teams. Is
Right.
like he's such a strange guy and such a fun guy that you're just like, dude, you're awesome. Like just
It's
loving.
the oddest form of leadership.
I think we were talking to Christian Fulton earlier, who was telling us, like, yeah, you need to pay really close attention when he's talking because you never know exactly where it's going to end or how he's going to tie it all together.
Right. There's I swear, team meetings, it's just story time, and then it's somehow within that it all connected to football, and everybody's like, man, yeah, you're right. Somewhere along that, you got me.
That's incredible.
Tell us something about Jim Harbaugh that we don't know. Is there, do you know anything that you can share with the audience? I don't want to get you in trouble. He's your head coach. But with Belichick, for years, they would say, oh, he's sneaky funny. You just don't see it,
It's just, I think Jim's so open to everybody that, you guys have almost heard all of the stories that are able to share.
Because he's such an open book.
Because he's such an open book.
Yes.
And, for me, for a while, I was like, there's no way this guy's this open. There's got to be hiding something.
No, there's something. Go find it for us.
You're always, trying to think about something.
Right.
But it's the way he is. And he's just, so genuinely loving that you're this is kind of, weird and awesome.
Yeah.
Never had a head coach like that.
Never.
Never in my life.
I don't think you'll ever meet another person in your life quite like Jim Harbaugh.
No,
it would be my guess.
No, he is a very unique individual.
He's the craziest person I've ever met.
Yeah, you're just dude, there's something going on where you're whoa, this is a lot.
I saw him at Augusta. He was walking around with his kids, and you want to say, oh, normal dad doing normal dad. No, he was crazy even doing that.
Yeah, so it's awesome. He always has his kids. It's cool to see that he always spends time with his kids. After practice, they're always around, so he gets his family time in too, which is good.
Listen, just between us, getting tired of the Chiefs?
Oh boy.
Yeah, of course I want the Eagles to win.
Really?
Obviously. I played at the Eagles, so I was I did one game there, so I know some of those guys there.
No, I feel if I was there for one game and then I wasn't, I would want them to suffer.
I disagree. They were a great organization. I knew I was only going to be there for 1 or 2 games. And for me, what stood out to me was when I went to the Chargers, I had the game-winning field goal my first week there, and Nick Sirianni texted me right after the game. It was hey, congrats, it's super cool to see you succeeding. And I said, right there, that shows the organization, and you have me.
Look at this guy.
So, great dudes.
You know what? Yeah. It's not up to me. In my book, Walter Payton Man of the Year right here.
Attaboy.
I've given it to you.
You win.
How about this? If you don't win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, I'm going to give you the Billy Gil Man of the Year award.
Thank you. I
appreciate
that?
It.
That's awesome.
We do it. We do it every year here on God Bless Football.
You're the first one ever.
Yes, let's go.
You're the first one ever, bud.
The first annual.
Yeah, Billy Gil.
We need to start doing postseason awards.
That would be awesome.
All right, man. One more time on the way out. We appreciate your time. Tell us what you're doing. Promote yourself, my man.
Yep, just here enjoying time at the Super Bowl here for the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Chargers, and so just kind of promoting the good work that the Lord's done in my life and just sharing the love of Jesus to everybody out there. So it's just something little I can do on an everyday basis, and so yeah, thank you.
All right, we appreciate the time. Listen, if you don't win it, we're rooting for you. We want you to win it, but you got the Billy Gil.
I know.
Yeah, you got
I
the Billy
appreciate
Gil
it.
You have that in your back pocket. Okay?
Let's go. Awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your week, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Is today your last day, or you still have more to do?
Last day. Last day, Billy. Deuce is hosting this thing, man.
You know.
Last day. Been going since last Friday.
Sometimes you say I'm Deuce McAllister. I'm going through Thursday. And that's it.
It's just, and I was about to ask you, what is today actually? It's
right.
Just, it runs together, but it's good though.
They're all blending together for you?
That's exactly right.
I mean, Billy's right, though. You're Deuce McAllister. If you want to stop, pause, whatever, you should be able to do so, you know?
It's good, though. I mean, it works out. It works out.
It seems like the Super Bowl is really it's really wearing on you. I got to be honest, Deuce.
Well, I mean, one, you still have family.
Yes.
And so my kids, they still have school.
Right. So you have all that to deal with,
yes,
right?
Yes, and so a lot of my buddies that are in town, they're like, hey, let's go hang out. Hey, look, man, I got carpool in the morning, or I got to go grab my kids. And so, it's just like, oh, right, yeah, you stay here. That's exactly right.
Yes.
So we're from Miami, and the last time the Super Bowl was in Miami was in 2020. And of all the Super Bowls that we've covered, I've told people, I was like, that was the least fun. Because when everyone comes to your hometown, they want you to go out and do this and do that. It's like, if we're traveling, like, that's fine because all my responsibilities stayed at home.
Right.
When it's a home Super Bowl, I still have to take out the trash on Tuesdays. I still have to do everything. I have to go home. I have to eat dinner. Like, I can't be out until 2 in the morning going and socializing with people. That's not real life.
Kindred spirits, the two of you, yes.
And people don't understand, and they're thinking like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, yes, this is what I have to do.
It's real life.
They don't stop it just because, hey, the Super Bowl is here. It's still, I was telling you, I mean, you got carpool. They got activities that they got to get to and from. And, yes, you have other means to be able to do it, but it's just like, I can't disappear for a week just because, the
you
Super
got responsibilities,
Bowl
man.
Yeah,
yes.
they like that. Well, are you coming to my game or are you taking me to practice? Well, I'll be at one of them. I can't maybe do both of them.
Wait, so what kind of pickup guy are you? Like, in terms of, are you a guy who gets to the school like an hour earlier than you probably should, so you can be first in line, or are you getting there late?
No, I'm probably the late person as far as getting to the school.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
Really?
Wow.
You have some that are there, and it's like there's no way that you can just sit here 45 minutes before school even gets out just to be first in line. I mean, it's like I'd rather go in and check them out early than maybe to go in and sometimes just wait until it gets interesting.
I feel like you need to treat it more like football. You need to get yourself some like blocker parents that they go and they like clog up the different lines for you.
Right.
And then boom, you just sneak
Open
in
up
and out.
a gap for him to shoot right through.
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
You know,
Pickup gap.
And most parents do, particularly that pick their kids up. It's a social event for some parents. And so it's like, hey, we got a job to do. It's get in, get the pickup and move. But no, that does not happen.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, there should be a special spot for Deuce's kids where he has access to. You're Deuce McAllister.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
You're here with us on behalf of the NFL Alumni Association on 3 Weight Health Hike campaign. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique campaign, and it's really, about the health of not only former players, but, individuals in general. And so a lot of times we get caught up in the hustle and the bustle as far as going, and you kind of forget, hey, my health is important as well. And you hear the phrase health is wealth, and, I think that's definitely important. And so just for a lot of the former athletes, not being afraid, not being ashamed, even myself, living in this great city of New Orleans, I've gotten in trouble of eating too much and, not exercising and taking care of yourself. But, just trying to encourage not only former players but individuals in general that there is an opportunity to be able to go out there and be healthy and, just make sure that they're taking care of themselves. And so there's a couple of, obviously, you have some different things, programs out there, and, just being able to have that circle of trust, so to speak, and sometimes individuals just to push you a little bit to say, hey, look, man, let's go walking or let's go talk. And so just to have that encouragement. And so the NFL Alumni Association, you can go to the website and check out some of the things that they have, and it's just really taking care of yourself a little bit better.
This seems like a tough city to eat healthy in.
It can be.
Every place you go, people are like, you got to eat here, you got to eat there.
Deuce, what happens is I try one spot, right, and then I'm full, and then I walk like 4 spots down, and I'm like, man, I want to try that thing, and I do.
Well, you did one positive thing there by walking there. I mean, because when you jump in the car, it's like, hey, you didn't burn anything off,
right?
But at least if you walk it off a little bit, you can kind of, I don't want to call it tricking yourself,
right?
But knowing that you're getting some type of exercise in, and you're correct. We do have a little bit better options, but I mean,
a little bit,
food, Deuce.
And that's part of the problem. I mean, we can create ways to like, wait, you're cooking at how? We can create ways of dishes to be able to make them taste a little bit different, and so that's why I said I get in trouble. And so it's something that you have to stay up on.
All right, so for people who are in town this week or people who come into town in the future, give us like the 3 spots you have to hit when you come to New Orleans.
Well, and see, I can't even do that. And it's because what is your palate like?
Right.
What do you like to eat?
Okay.
And so, when you start going that direction, it's like, well, wait, you got seafood, but I have Creole seafood.
Right.
And so now, do I want some Italian? Do I want, some Mediterranean food? And so we can go down a rabbit hole and we're still here talking about those are just desserts that we're talking about.
Let's do this. Yeah. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
He wants to, yes.
Oh, my God. And you haven't even gotten to desserts.
Well, I mean, I think that's where you have to start, though.
Mm-hmm. You start with the desserts.
Yeah, and then you work your way up to some healthy food, and so
you're not getting the healthy foods.
Well, I mean, he's here. Listen, he's promoting health right now.
Yeah. Well, we're walking. We're walking.
There's a blend. There's a blend.
Right, we're walking spot to spot.
Yes. There's a blend with us, and so I think it's you talk about beignets. That's where I don't want to say it starts with some of the beignets, but you have your Banana Fosters and Dickie Brennan's. You talk about some of the beard winners as far as the restaurants and the chefs. In this city, it's phenomenal, and like I said, it's really just what type of food do you want, and it doesn't often have to be, hey, you have to put on a sports coat to come in our restaurant, because we do have that as well.
Sure.
Well, you have, and some of them provide it for you. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you don't have your jacket with you, no worries. We have a jacket for you to be able to come in, and so to enjoy it. And it's one that, hey, I can come in, and it's not necessarily a dive bar, but it's more of a hangout spot. But they have phenomenal food as well, and so there's numerous places that we have, and it's if you get an opportunity to come down and enjoy some of the fantastic food. But like you talked about earlier, just walk.
Yeah, if just walk. Yeah, you have to walk. There's no choice. It's a walking city anyway.
Yeah, so it's pretty fabulous.
Deuce, you are a great running back, and I'm wondering, as a former great NFL running back, when you watch Saquon Barkley, are you in awe of him? Like, what's happening there for you?
You're happy that he's getting to showcase it.
Okay.
I mean, because you saw it going back even
that
to Penn
it's not
State.
being wasted.
Well,
right.
yeah,
yes.
I mean, just because now on a national level,
sure,
people kind of see like, man, this player's pretty good.
Yeah.
And not to say that wasn't happening in New York, but if you don't go to consistent playoffs, people kind of say, he had a good year, but he hadn't done it consistently. And so for him to be able to put it together and kind of what he went through with New York, having to go to the Eagles and being in this position, and it hadn't just been a regular season situation. It's been something that he's done in the playoffs as well. And so to get to the second and third level and have those explosive plays, I think that speaks to the offensive line, because that's definitely a part of it. But then as well, he's got to make people miss. He's got to be able to break tackles, and he's been able to do it, so far in his playoffs.
The running back and the running game in general has made a resurgence this past year. It was kind of down for a while, but I'm sure you're happy to see it come back, right? It's as important as ever now in the NFL to have a running game.
Well, in the NFL, it's ebbs and flows as well. And
sure.
So a lot of times defenses were taking away, you were seeing 8 in the box, but, with the evolution of the passing game and the high numbers as far as passing yards, you see defenses say, hey, look, you're going to have to run the ball, and you may not be built to run the football.
Right.
And you had a commitment from the offensive coordinator to say, hey, look, we can turn around, we can give it to the backs, and the backs have been able to make it pay off. And so I'm happy for it. And to those guys, you're going to have to do it again, because I don't think that 1 year proves that having an elite run game for those OCs to say, hey, look, we need to invest back in it. I still think this is a passing league, and you have to have a quarterback to be able to win in this league. But to be able to see some of the success that the backs this year have had has been impressive.
Deuce, we really appreciate the time. You're a good man. NFL Alumni Association on 3, weight, health, hike. Tell us one more time here on the way out. You're almost there, man. It's almost over the entire week, okay?
No, I mean, it hadn't been too bad. It's always good to see former players that you played with, and even some of the current guys, just to encourage them and tell them, to keep pushing on. But, for us, just encouraging guys, particularly our athletes that have retired, that from a health standpoint, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because health is wealth, and without that body, it's hard to be able to do some of the things that you like to do. And you take the hits, but at the same time, if you're not healthy enough to be able to play with your kids when they have stuff going on, that's kind of what it's about. And so, just making sure that we know that message and we can kind of lean on that message.
You felt like you got out at the right time, body-wise, physically. You feel good?
Oh, I mean, I'm fine.
Right.
I know there are a lot of guys that either played with me or before me that may not be in that same position. And so, from I was probably me and a lot of guys. Hey, if I could have got in this new CBA, it'll be a lot different. I mean, the two-a-days are, I don't want to, they don't have them anymore.
Right.
I mean, you look at the padded practices, it's all monitored.
Yes.
And that. kind of hurts the game as well. I mean, because from a fundamental standpoint, you don't get to do some of that stuff, and so it's all regulated by the new CBA.
I only honed in on that because Jason Kelce, who I think wishes he were playing because he'd be in another Super Bowl, he was fighting that decision. Yeah. Do I come back and play? Do I want to be able to pick up my kids and my grandkids later in life? And he obviously chose to retire. So
mentally, he can still do it.
Yeah,
it's physically.
Physically, yes,
it's physically,
and whether or not it's worth it, in the end. Yep.
Correct.
Deuce, we appreciate it, man. You're a great host.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you, guys.
Man.